With me now, Denise Gitsham, Republican strategist, News Nation contributor, and our New Yorker, Chris Hyde, former senior aide to Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer, News Nation contributor as well. Listen, we were all watching this live. Denise, you were on air with Connell. Chris, I know you've seen the videos. Denise, you take any exception of what you witnessed?
Well, I feel like everyone who's siding with the protesters, anyone who's sympathetic to them, is saying, you know, these are all peaceful people. Don't believe your lying eyes. And here we are watching the same person, as a person in blue right there that we're watching on TV, who continues to charge at, and they don't even take him down. They're not even saying, let me restrain you. They're not arresting him, but they're allowing this person to go after ICE, federal law enforcement officers that have been literally risked their lives to enforce our federal laws. And so there's no two sides to this issue. You either stand with the law, and we stand with what bipartisan Congress has passed in terms of our federal laws and with law enforcement, or we're for this kind of anarchy. No. And that's all that it is. You can see it for yourself. No two sides, Chris?
I think the anarchy is being delivered by ICE. And you notice that when the NYPD showed up, a professional law enforcement organization with the skills to deal with crowds and protests, the whole thing dissipated. Because they know what they're doing. They're not masked up like they're going to rob a bank.
You're not calling ICE professionals?
No, I don't think they're handling this professional at all. I think if they've got somebody that they're going after, they don't have to do it with this show of force, rolling tanks down the street, drawing attention to themselves. I also think that law enforcement officials in America shouldn't be masked up, and they should have a badge with their name on it or some other identification like a number. And what's been going on with ICE right now, to me, is un-American, the way they are instituting the laws in this country. And I have a real problem with it. And I also have a problem with them putting their hands on Americans. I do not believe they have the jurisdiction inland to stop, to hold people who are American citizens. And I think that every American who has been assaulted by ICE has a case against them.
ICE is federal law enforcement, I should note. As this was happening, Chris, Denise, and to our audience here on News Nation, or those listening to us on Sirius XM, I was watching this live play out, and then I was also watching and listening to President Trump. He was in the Oval Office. He didn't know this was going on, but he was answering a bunch of questions. And one of them was about the Portland case. A judge, a panel of judges from the Ninth Circuit yesterday basically saying that the president can federalize the National Guard. And a question was asked, and I'm glad it was, which was this: Mr. President, do you believe that that gives you the ability now to go to other cities and other states with the National Guard? Here's what he said. I want to pick it up on the other side.
A very strong opinion that we have the right to use the National Guard. You would think that would be common sense. We have the right to use the National Guard to put out trouble.
What I found striking from that, and again, it wasn't related to this scene, but on this overall issue of crime and law enforcement, he didn't say yes, Denise, and that's not to say he doesn't believe that, but I wonder what the next steps are for this White House after that ruling.
The president is committed to keeping Americans, law-abiding Americans, safe at any cost. And when local law enforcement officers are unable to do their job and federal law enforcement officers are being treated the way that they are, which apparently Chris is now justifying, which just blows my mind, then you've got a mentality that we have to come against with the full force of whatever the president can legally execute. And now that this appellate court has said that it is within his statutory authority to go forth with the National Guard, why wouldn't he hold back? He hasn't even invoked the Insurrection Act yet. He's done it just within the law that he has. He could pull that trigger, and when he does, the law will be on his side.
On there in Long Island, I'll give you the last word.
First of all, I don't think law enforcement people should be assaulted. I also think ICE agents shouldn't be executing their authority and assaulting people inland. I think they have a limited authority. That said, the president is going to have to weigh the political problems he's going to face if he continues to put troops in American streets. It is incredibly unpopular, and the voters are coming for him. They are coming to have accountability in this government. You're going to see it in November of this year, and you will see it for sure a year from now.
All right. Chris Hyde, thank you for joining us. Short notice there in New York. Denise Gitsham, catch you later in the show. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.